Hi you guys! Welcome to another week of the Mama and Minnie Show with Shola and Iman. So this week we are giving you guys a birth control crash course. We have previously done a pregnancy trimester crash course, so if you haven't seen that already, hit that link and check it out. But this week we're focusing on the birth control, so you don't have to worry about the pregnancy trimesters yet. Before we go any further, we want to remind you guys to like and subscribe and hit the bell to turn on our post notifications and make sure that you're following us. Birth control is very useful for a number of reasons. Obviously, it helps prevent pregnancy, but it also regulates your period and it is used as medicine for certain health problems. Every woman should have the right to birth control if she needs it or wants it. And so here I'm going to break down the most popular forms of birth control for y'all and just give y'all a quick rundown of how each of them works, and hopefully you find it useful. There are two types of birth control: hormonal and non-hormonal. Hormonal birth control contains hormones, normally the hormone progestin, but there are some others, whereas non-hormonal birth control does not contain hormones. While there are many advantages to birth control, there are also some side effects to it. A lot of the side effects are linked to the hormones in birth control. Progestin is a hormone that's already found in our bodies, but birth control just adds more progestin to our bodies. And when you up your levels of hormones like that, it does tend to affect your body and it tends to give you side effects. So that is one thing to know about birth control, and one thing to consider when you're choosing which...
Mommy.
Oh, I love you.
Mommy.
I love you more. She's trying to make the case against birth control right now. So that is something to consider when you're trying to figure out which birth control is right for you. You might want to consider about the hormones and the side effects they have on your body. So if you are looking to not have kids yet, not have any more kids yet, or you just want to regulate your period or treat some health symptoms, then listen up. Here are the main types of birth control. First is the implant. A birth control implant is a thin rod that is surgically put into your arm, then releases the hormone progestin, which prevents you from getting pregnant. It is 99% effective and it can last you up to 5 years. The birth control implant, like most forms of birth control, is covered by a lot of health insurance and Medicaid, but in case you don't have any health insurance or Medicaid and you're paying out of pocket, it could cost you anywhere up to $1,300. So yeah, that's kind of steep, but you won't have to keep getting it for a couple of years. The benefits of the implant is that it's very low maintenance. You don't have to worry about it. They insert it and you're good to go. You're not worried about it. And it is 99% effective. It's actually over 99% effective, they say. So you definitely shouldn't be getting pregnant if you have the insert. If you put the implant in your arm and then you decide after a year or a couple months that you want to take it out and you actually might want to get pregnant, or you just want to get off of birth control, that's no problem. As soon as you take it out, then your body reverts back to how it was and you can get pregnant again. Your period goes back to how it was. So it's not a permanent thing and you don't have to keep it in for the full 5 years. Another form of semi-permanent birth control is the IUD, or the intrauterine device. A tiny device that is put into your uterus. There are two types of IUDs. There's a copper IUD, which is non-hormonal, or there's the hormonal IUDs, which contain progestin to prevent you from getting pregnant. The copper IUDs are wrapped in copper wire, and sperm does not like copper, and it won't be able to work with the copper inserted to protect your eggs, and so that's how it keeps you from getting pregnant. Fun fact about the IUD, and it's also a very useful fact to know, the IUD can be used as an emergency contraceptive. If you have had unprotected sex and you think that you might be pregnant, if you get an IUD inserted within the next 5 days, you're good to go. It's actually the most effective emergency contraceptive, so that's pretty cool. It's also over 99% effective, and it's very low maintenance, just like the implant. You get an IUD and it lasts anywhere from 3 to 12 years, depending on the type you get, copper, hormonal. There's different brands that last different amount of times. And then once you get it put in, you don't have to worry about it. You're good to go, low maintenance, and it's good for a couple of years. Once again, IUDs and other methods of birth control are usually covered under Medicare or Medicaid or your health insurance, But if you don't have insurance, it could run you anywhere from $0 to $1,300. So, just a little side note, but we might want to vote. Get these Republicans to not be out here taking away our health care. So y'all vote, because things like this, money. Another method of birth control is the Depo Shot, the birth control shot. The birth control shot contains the hormone progestin. They shoot it right into your arm. It prevents ovulation and it thickens this mucus on your cervix, which prevents sperm from getting to the egg. The shot lasts up to 3 months. You have to get a shot every 3 months. So that's one thing to consider when you're thinking about birth control. Are you going to keep up with doctor's appointments every 3 months? Because normally a healthcare professional gives you your shot, but there also are ways that you can get a supply of shots and give them to yourself, but then you have to really stay up on it and make sure you don't miss it, because if you miss your shot schedule, then it's not effective. The shot is 94% effective. It does not always work right away. With the other methods of birth control that I've discussed so far, as soon as you get it done, you're good to go. The shot may work right away, depending on when your last period was, or it may not. It might not work for a week. So it's very important to discuss with your healthcare provider when you get your first shot about your period schedule and when the shot will actually kick in. Benefits of the shot is it's not very high maintenance. You do have to go and get a shot every 3 months, but after, you don't have to do anything yourself unless you decide to give the shots to yourself at home, and still it's only every 3 months. So 4 times a year. The shot is also highly effective and it's cheaper than the more permanent options. A shot will run you up to $150 if you don't have health insurance. You also might have to pay an exam fee the first time you go and get your shot because they give you an exam before they give it to you, and that could run you up to $300 if you don't have health insurance. Next is the vaginal ring. One of the most common vaginal rings is the NuvaRing. The NuvaRing is a flexible ring that you insert into the vagina and wear it there. You shouldn't feel it, so it's not something that's going to bother you. The NuvaRing contains a little bit more commitment schedule-wise than the shot. You have to put your own ring in, and you have to keep up with your schedule of changing it once a month. It sits in the vaginal canal and prevents sperm from reaching the egg. One cool thing about the vaginal ring is that it allows you to regulate your period. Meaning, you decide if you want a period or not. You can take out the ring for 7 days to give yourself a period, or you can just keep it in and not have one. NuvaRing is 91% effective. Oh, I love you. NuvaRings are also covered by health insurance, but if you don't have any, it can range up to $200. The ring also releases hormones, so it is a hormonal birth control. Another form of birth control is the patch. The patch is a patch full of hormones that you put either on your arm, your back, your stomach, or your butt, and it releases the hormones right through your skin into your body, and that prevents you from getting pregnant. A patch lasts 1 week, so you have to replace your patch every week, and you do that yourself. So you have to stay on top of the schedule. It is much, much cheaper than the permanent forms of birth control. The patch can cost you up to $150 for 3 of them. The patch is 91% effective. One of the most common forms of birth control is the birth control pill. The birth control pill is a daily pill that you take. You have to take it around the same time every single day. So that is one of the drawbacks of the pill. It requires you to really be on your schedule and take it day after day after day around the same time. If you don't take your pills on schedule, then that could mess up how the birth control works, and it might not be as effective. The pill is 91% effective. The pill is also a hormonal birth control option. It contains progestin, just like many of these other options. The good thing about that is that you just take a pill every day and you're good to go. You don't require any surgical implantation. It doesn't require you putting anything inside of yourself as far as through the vaginal canal. So, and it's also one of the cheapest options. It is covered by health insurance, but if you don't have health insurance, or for some reason your health insurance doesn't cover birth control, then the pill will cost you about up to $50 for a pack, and a pack is a month's supply. So you pay about $50 a month, or less maybe, to have your birth control if you choose the pill. Another form of birth control that does not require you to be on a consistent schedule is condoms. Condoms, of course, you only use when you actually have sex. And condoms are very, very cheap. You can get condoms for less than $1 if you buy packs of them, or about $2 to $3 for like a pack of 1, 2, or 3. So they're way cheaper than other methods of birth control. Condoms are also easier to obtain. You can just go to Walmart, go to the store and buy some condoms. Whereas many of the other methods of birth control, you have to see your healthcare provider or go to Planned Parenthood or something like that. Condoms are about 85% effective. If you're wearing a female condom, which sits inside the vaginal canal, then it's only about 79% effective. Condoms also require you to wear them correctly, whether that's you yourself wearing them or your partner wearing them, they need to put it on correctly. So that's one drawback of condoms. A big plus about condoms that none of the A big plus about condoms that none of the other birth control methods I've mentioned so far have is that condoms help prevent STDs and STIs. So, condoms are often used coupled up with many of the other birth control methods because they also protect from infections and diseases. Also, condoms are not a hormonal birth control, so you don't have to worry about basically any side effects really. The only side effect that you might experience from condom usually is if you're allergic to latex, because most condoms are made of latex, but they also have some that are made of lambskin to get around that little hurdle. And the final method of birth control that I'm discussing today is an emergency contraceptive commonly known as the morning after pill. If you have unprotected sex and you're worried that you're going to get pregnant and you need to quickly make sure you don't, the morning after pill is a great place to turn to. There are many different types of morning after pills. Some of the most common are Plan B and My Way, things like that. You take them within 5 days of having unprotected sex, but they recommend that you actually try to take it within the first 72 hours. The sooner that you take the morning after pill, the more effective it is. So you should take it ASAP because the percentage of how effective it is goes down every single day. These are located at drugstores, at Walmart, places like that. It's pretty easy to get a hold of. They are more expensive than condoms. A morning after pill will probably run you about $50 unless you go to Planned Parenthood, because sometimes Planned Parenthood gives out free morning after pills if you need one. Here's a tip though. On Amazon, you can actually get the morning after pill for much cheaper than if you go into the drugstore. There's a Canadian version called Take Two, I believe, and that costs about $15 or $20, and it's made with the same ingredients as Plan B, and it's just as effective. So if you find yourself in a bind cash-wise, check out Amazon. The morning after pill contains things that I cannot pronounce: levonorgestrel, ulipristal acetate. So all of the hormonal birth controls that I mentioned will probably give you some side effects. Everyone's body reacts differently to birth controls. It's definitely not one size fits all. Everyone has different health histories and different things going on. So your side effects might not be the same as someone else's side effects. And some people have no side effects, so they're really lucky. But chances are with the hormonal birth control, you probably will experience some side effects, because anytime the hormone levels in your body change drastically, it normally changes some things up. Some things you might experience on those birth controls are sore breasts, more or less cramps during your period, heavier or lighter periods. You might experience weight gain or acne, but like I said, it varies so much for different women. You really just have to try it and see. Some women experience weight gain, some women experience no weight gain at all. Some women experience heavier periods, and some women experience way lighter periods or no period. And all of that is normal on birth control. Many women have to try multiple types of birth control before they find one that they like and that works well with their body. And you also can't just try it and wait a day or two and see how it works. A lot of times your body has to get used to the changing hormone levels, and you have to wait a couple of weeks to maybe a couple of months in order for your body to balance out them hormones. So all of this is things that you should definitely discuss with your healthcare provider when you're trying to get on birth control. Where should you go to get birth control? Well, if you can, you should go to your doctor, your gynecologist, your OBGYN, whatever. If you don't have a doctor, Planned Parenthood is a great resource. Another reason to vote. We need Planned Parenthoods. But yes, Planned Parenthood is a great place to go to get birth control as well as many other things. And they also will talk to you about all of your options. If you're doing the non-hormonal, non-permanent, or non-semi-permanent birth controls, if you're gonna do things like condoms and stuff like that, then you can just go to the store and get it, like I said. There are also birth control options that are permanent, like getting your tubes tied. I will do a separate video on those because I feel like that's a whole nother ball game. This video, I just wanted to cover semi-permanent and not permanent methods of birth control. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be back next week with another video. If you guys want to see more crash course, let me know and comment below. What do you know about birth control? Talk about your experience, or maybe ask some questions that I didn't cover, and maybe I'll do another video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.